Hello, fans and assorted stalkers, and welcome to Thomas Was Alone, a platformer with, I must say, a pretty good story. I just love this game, so let's just get in. The program was a failure. People forgot this. It was a massive flop. The coders started adding name strings to the AIs as jokes. Thomas AT23612 wasn't special. It was just an AI at the right place in the right time.
Was alone. Wow. A weird first thought.
Yeah. Thank you for accidental sentience. Yeah, I have to wonder what the moral ramifications of AI, of legitimate artificial intelligence, will be. The reason I love this game relies mostly on its story. It's a great example of characterization through, dialogue. There have been many experiments with characterization, there's stuff like There She Is, which delivers characterization almost exclusively through facial expressions and body language as opposed to dialogue. Thomas Was Alone is actually kind of the inverse of that, using no body language or facial expressions and exhibits characterization almost exclusively through dialogue and character actions.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block.
You don't know that yet?
A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him.
It's almost as if the difficulty was designed to increase incrementally instead of a giant, massive difficulty spike.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted.
Only one way to find out.
Unstable. And it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down.
Yes, it just killed me.
Something
Oops.
about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
Even though I just kinda did and turned into fish food. Oh god, I love the lighting.
Was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
Loneliness. I gotta admit, this is a decidedly fancy lighting system for a 2D platformer. Look at this simple art style, just squares and rectangles. Well, technically a square is a type of rectangle, but you get my point. Squares, rectangles, and a bunch of lighting effects. But even so, it looks bloody gorgeous. I've been saying that a lot, haven't I? I submitted hundreds of bug reports. I told that idiot this would happen. Overlapping scripts. More than one AI was bound to be spawned to the environment at some point. Turns out I missed the point. That little error changed everything. Everyone has its own little exit portal to go out of, and once everyone's in there, then you move on to the next level. You get a lot of characters by the end of it.
There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
Whee! I like jumping! Ow! Right in my face! This game's true skill is its characterization. It's a unique take on characterization, done almost exclusively through dialogue, and of course, actions, because, actions define a character. You can't have a character without actions, and what they do is certainly an important part of it. But characterization has to often be supplemented to build a full-round character. And often that's supplemented through dialogue and, facial expressions and character interactions. This one focuses exclusively on dialogue and character interactions to build the character. Most media has to rely on a variety of characterization methods. Actions, character interactions, dialogue, character design, all inform character, but this strips it away to just dialogue and actions. I must say, I've never cared so much about a series of rectangles.
Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure.
Yeah, this new adventure where I get a new hat. Look, a button. Hello. Whee! And a boop. There we go. Now, Thomas, you go over there. By the end of the... Ow. By the end of this, you get a ton of characters to control. Each with their own unique personality and playstyle. Every rectangle is unique, and every new world brings a new spice to the story and the gameplay.
That would be fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot.
Now, above the boiling hot lava or water. Get back here! Ah, that was close. Too close. I almost died. Even though that would have just set me back a bit. And it's good being an AI. You know, unless my computer catches on fire, in which case I'm fucked. And like I said, I have to wonder what the moral ramifications, well, and existential ramifications of artificial intelligence would be. Like, what would our place in the universe would be? Like, are we, by creating artificial intelligence, are we then taking on the role of God, or role man should have never intended?
He knew that this was his chance. A moment to shine.
Ow.
This was game day.
I am awesome! Ow, my face! So, yeah, what would the existential ramifications be? Like, what would our place in the universe be? Like I said, are we playing God, or would a world where we can essentially create life, what place does God have in that world? Like, if we can create it, who's to say that an omniscient being had to create us if we were created at all? Or was it like, you know, like Scientology says, and an alien created us? I mean, after all, if we can create artificial intelligence, why couldn't someone have created us?
It smelled of awesome.
Awesomeness! Ow.
Time to flex those muscles, to
Yes,
put his
the muscles are burning.
It's time to show those little dots how it was done.
The dots are burning. Like, personally, I think that even if we create artificial intelligence, like, we still, humans arose by chance.
John cared for his new allies. You could tell from the sympathetic expression he'd practiced in the mirror all these years.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Being able to create life does not mean that it couldn't have arose naturally. I mean, like, to be perfectly honest, nature tends to be more complicated than what humans build. Like, humans prefer simplicity. Nature, however, does not give a shit. I mean, seriously, you ever take a biology course, or, hell, maybe even a geology course, or pretty much anything to do with naturally occurring things, like on the planet, or in the animal kingdom, you'll see just how easily that thing can become overcomplicated. Go, Thomas! I have a new hat! Like, personally, I don't think the complexity of Earth means there had to be some sort of creator for it. Okay, I know I'm going into a bit of a theology tangent, but hey, I feel like it. I have no problems with Christians, I just disagree with them. Or, well, really any monotheist and polytheist, and, well, theists in general, and, well, even spiritual atheists. But anyway, I'm getting into pedantics. The complexity of Earth does not prove a creator, because, to be perfectly honest, if a creator was involved, I find it more likely that the Earth would have had a simpler design. Like, if we're going by that whole "it's so complicated it must have required a creator" argument. But anyway, I was talking about AI, wasn't I? Like, oh, that looks like a dick. But anyway, artificial intelligence. Like, there's also a bit of a moral conundrum of, like, how do we treat the AI? Do they have rights? Like, how do we treat the rights of other sentient beings beyond humans? Like, well, there's one example I heard about aliens. Basically, let's just say an alien is, like, lands on Earth and is walking through some streets. A man just decides to go and shoot him. The alien was completely innocent, but do you prosecute the man? Because technically laws govern humans. Like, you won't get as much deep shit if you murder a cat as what would happen if you murder a human. Like, it's still not something good, but even then, cats don't really have the same rights of humans. So would aliens then have the same rights as people, or would they have the same rights as cats? Like, anyway, like, what rights would AIs have? Would they, like, even have the right to exist? Like, the thing about AIs is that, well, you can delete them. If you program it in anyway, if it's in the OS, or, well, I suppose you can manually delete it through some tech wizardry or whatever. Or by just manually removing the data, or physically removing the data from the hard drive. Like, either carefully by changing a little magnet, or just by rubbing a magnet across the hard drive. But the thing is, if we do create artificial intelligence, would that be considered murder or vandalism? Or would it even be classified as a crime if you owned it? Because technically you're killing a sentient life. You're erasing them from existence. And would there be any recourse? Yeah, plus there's the old try-and-true fears of them taking over, which, well, considering the fact that they probably wouldn't have rights, they might take a whole Malcolm X approach and create an artificial intelligence nation. You know, barring any, like, major civil rights leader for artificial intelligence. Like, would they even have enough autonomy, or would they even have as much rights to be able to gather and rebel like that? Like, it would probably be a slow process, like, first focusing on actually making sure that, you know, it's a crime to kill them, and making enslavement of artificial intelligence illegal.
The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
Okay, that's actually kind of adorable. So, anyway, I was talking about artificial intelligence rights, and, like, quite simply, the first couple years for artificial intelligences are gonna be hell for them. Like, if the AIs actually get any rights, however, they're gonna look at the early history of artificial intelligence with horror.
A floating target. This would require coordination, balance, and timing.
Yeah, I don't seem to have that. Like, if we ever do develop it, it'll be interesting in what capacity. Will it just be like artificial intelligence in video games? Well, nothing like artificial intelligence in sci-fi. So yeah, it'll be really interesting if we ever develop true artificial intelligence. Like, it'll certainly be interesting, and, well, how the computer would react to us. Like, would it see it as kind of an equal, as like another one of his species, or would he treat us like the same way we treat almost every other animal except maybe pets? We don't tend to treat other animals very well. Like, a lot of it has to do with the fact that, you know, we need food and shit, but still, we do a lot of shit to animals and don't care. We'll slaughter them and devour their flesh, for one. Cram in zoos, which, you know, while may be more safe and help protect endangered species, let's just say putting a human in a zoo is met with a bit more horror. So how would the artificial intelligence react to us? Like I said, another species or an animal? Like, kind of the same way with aliens as well. Like, if aliens do come, I don't think they're gonna be very kind to us. The initial group possessed simple variations in size and strength. More complex configurations were inevitable. As the Earth spread, these variations became increasingly extreme.
This was how Claire would die. She knew it would happen eventually.
Oh, that's depressing. Like, Claire's probably my favorite character.
It was at that moment that Claire realized she had superpowers.
Call me Super Claire! So, if anyone out here is self-conscious about their weight, don't worry, you're just a superhero. Hey guys, you like my new hair? Oh, wait, yeah. Go, Thomas, go! You can make it! Press the button. Boing! And now Thomas is missing. Yay. Now Thomas is alone again. Boing, boing. Like, not gonna lie, with the amount of characters you get in late game, it can get a bit confusing near the end, but, well, it's still fun as all hell. Claire is, like, really the first really different character. Like most characters with just variations in jump length and size, Claire actually gains a unique ability, namely the ability to not die in water.
Wait, where had Chris gone? Was he somewhere?
Yes, let's cross him. No, Thomas! John! Everyone I know is dead! And they're back. Oh shit, no. Oh, come on, Thomas. Show some gusto. I didn't like... He probably does not like the fact that he keeps dying. Oh yeah, you went over there. Nope. John, Claire, you go under there. Yeah, the platforming mechanics actually kind of revolve a bit of a puzzle platformer, especially near the end. It gets complex. Plus, well, a really intriguing storyline, if I say so myself. Mainly aided through great characterization and great character interactions. Thomas is actually a pretty good main character, like admittedly a bit of a generic goody-goody, but well, he's done well enough to be very engaging. Come on, let's go. Woo, yeah. Oh, sorry, Claire. You're done for today. Go ahead and take 5. Okay, let's just go. Ah! Not what I intended. Okay, Claire, protect them. You know, you kind of look like a pack of cigarettes now. Hold on, that looks like I can give him someone the bird. Wee bop. Wee bop. Ding. I built protection to the system. When overlaps occurred, the world generated split to remove the unwanted additionals. It's like a white blood cell. Investigates, it captures, and it removes from play. I actually think I'm gonna cut it here. Like, it's actually not that long of a game, and I'd rather not spoil any of the story bits. So, why does Thomas Was Alone deserve to be on Terrific Tuesdays? Number 1, solid puzzle platforming mechanics. Like, I haven't showed the true complexity the levels can become, but believe me, they can become some pretty devious, albeit fun, puzzles. Next, each character is unique, not only in personality, but in gameplay style. With their gameplay style actually aiding in some way in the characterization. Next, the story. It's wonderfully written and wonderfully voice acted. The story, like, that's the main draw of the game. It's one of the best stories I've ever heard in a game, with some, like, deep and interesting and likable characters. Next, the voice actor is wonderful. Not only does he have an appealing voice to listen to, but, well, he's able to make each character feel unique just through differences in his vocal style. I couldn't put this down the first time I played it. I loved it. Like, I just played it in one night. I mean, no character is unlikable. And trust me, it actually has a good deal of characters. Like, I mean, no side characters, but still, the amount of main characters who interact with the plot is pretty big. And each one of them is playable, even if you can only play as one at a time. So anyway, I think that'll be all for today. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed. See you guys next time. Call me Mr. T.